In this video, I interview Amazon affiliate expert Doug Cunnington. Now, Doug dropped a comment on one of my videos just a couple of weeks ago. He was watching one of my tutorials about building an Amazon affiliate website, and he dropped the bombshell that he'd created an Amazon affiliate website that had gone on to be sold via a Flipper type site for over $200,000. Yeah, $200,000. So I got back in touch with him and said, wow, that's amazing. Tell me about it. And he agreed to set up a call on Skype and let me record it and share his stories of building Amazon affiliate websites and making loads of money from them and then ultimately selling them. So I thought you guys are going to absolutely love this, especially if you are setting up an Amazon affiliate website or you've already got one. The stuff that Doug shares with me in this call is absolutely gold. And yeah, really good tips. So, well, let's get started. Hello, it's Alex here from WP Eagle. I hope you're all well. So, I want to get the Skype call running as quickly as possible, so I'm going to cut the chit chat out. But basically, as I said, I had a chat with Doug on Monday, and he shared with me loads of tips and loads of stories about Amazon affiliate marketing, including things like how to find a niche and how to create content and how to get traffic and all the stuff that I know you guys really want to learn about. So I think you're going to really enjoy this. Also, as a bonus, Doug has offered to give away a keyword list, one of his own, that he did some research on, and I think it's got about 15,000 keywords that are suitable for an Amazon affiliate website. You'll find all the links that we mentioned in the call and the link to those keywords in the description, as well as a link to Doug's YouTube channel, which I strongly recommend that you check out as well. But that's enough chit chat from me. Let's roll the Skype call tape recording thing, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you at the end. Thanks very much for joining me tonight, Doug. So yeah, just tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into, Amazon stuff and affiliate marketing and all that kind of thing.
Sure. Well, I'm Doug Cunnington, and I've been doing affiliate marketing for about 4 years. And I basically discovered this whole online world from Pat Flynn on Smart Passive Income. I heard the podcast and I just randomly found it, and then found out people had websites and they were making money online. Before that, I was doing management consulting. I was a project manager. So I had a normal
sort of job. Yeah. You had to go in every day and do work and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
taking up a lot of your time.
Sorry?
Took up quite a lot of your time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, just about all of it. And for a while I was, traveling, and, it's fun at first. When you first get a job, it's fun to travel. You have a per diem and you get to eat out with your friends. But then, of course, it becomes a terrible corporate job. And that's what happened for me. Yeah. But I found out that, people were making money online. They were doing this Amazon niche site stuff. So I started to research it about 4 years ago, built a couple sites, and I think probably a lot of people can relate. I did everything wrong. So
yeah, yeah, I think most people can. Yeah, that's how you learn, isn't it? By making mistakes.
For sure. And I didn't even know what WordPress was to let you know how clueless about the whole process.
Yeah. Okay.
But eventually, I got a couple things rolling. So I got a Amazon affiliate site up and running, making a few $100s a month within a few months, and then I think I got it to 6,000 within the first year in December. And
wow, 6,000 a month, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Wow. And then all good internet marketing stories, I got penalized, and the revenue went to zero overnight.
Yeah, we've all been there. That was when SEO was a little bit different.
It sure was.
Yeah.
So it was I thought I was going to quit my job, and then after that, I thought, well, I'm going to have to do this and figure it out a little bit more. So.
Okay. Well, at least it happened before you quit your job, I guess. That's right. The saving grace in that story. I was going to say, I just quit my job and then suddenly I was penalized, and yeah. No, okay, that's a good story. So what did you do after that?
So I actually continued on the trend of getting success and then being penalized until I was laid off from my job in 2015. So almost 2 years ago, I got laid off. I was there for 9 years, and I guess it's pretty common nowadays. People just get laid off for no reason.
Things change, yeah.
So at that point, I knew I could like ramp up my niche site business.
I guess you got a little settlement or something to keep you going, did you? Or?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So at least
give you a little bit more time to focus on other things, maybe. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Carry on. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So basically, I started to ramp up the niche site business, and I knew it was possible. I had done it before, and a lot of my friends in mastermind groups were, making full-time income. They had, continued to press on after their, penalizations as well.
Yeah.
And, they were quitting their jobs, making more than they ever could in their old positions. And I knew I could do it. So I just kept moving forward with that. And I will mention, because I come from a project management background, I have I believe, a unique set of skills where I have this organization type mindset from my corporate job, where I think a lot of online entrepreneurs may have, they didn't develop those skills, but I spent a decade in the trenches doing project management for software, big implementations. And I brought that sort of organization and like task management idea, project management idea set to...
So you're good at getting stuff done.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
that's
what you need.
That's a much faster way to say
it. Yeah. But that's maybe a little flaw or a challenge a lot of entrepreneurs have. They're very good at starting stuff. They get really excited, and maybe they start building a site or thinking about doing a site, and then they never really kind of get to the end or pull it all together to actually get something finished and working.
For sure. So I've been pressing on with the niche site stuff for, I guess, 4 years total, really seriously after the last 2 years since I got laid off. And to answer we were chatting just before we hopped on and started recording, but yes, I'm doing this full time now after I got laid off. It's supporting me, and I'm doing, better than I would have if I stayed in my other job. So
yeah, that's perfect. Okay, well let's get into a bit more of the details of Amazon affiliate marketing. You mentioned that niche sites are very important. So, I mean, what would you recommend to someone, or how would you advise someone if they were, thinking about doing Amazon affiliate marketing? How would they go about choosing a niche or choosing products?
Sure. So there's a lot of different brainstorming strategies, but probably the best and easiest way is to just go over to Amazon and start looking through like top level categories, of which I'll try to remember the best I can, but you would look in maybe like home and bath, or maybe the outdoor category, and just start diving in and looking at the different, products that are out there, just to get an idea like what people are buying.
Okay.
Of course, that could be overwhelming because there's so much just on Amazon, but you can use a keyword research tool Alex, do you have a favorite keyword research tool?
I use Google AdWords keyword tool. That's because I'm from a Google AdWords background, so it's always my go-to tool, but I'm sure there's better things.
Cool.
And obviously you need an AdWords account now to access it. But yeah, that's what I use generally.
Okay. And that is up until the point where they I guess they shut down the amount of information to people that didn't have active ads running. So there's a couple tools out there. Whichever one you use doesn't matter that much. Just pick one. There are some free options or trial options that you could pick. And it actually doesn't matter, so I won't even suggest one. I have no affiliations with any keyword.
You must have a preferred one that you normally go into first.
There's one called Keyword Keg. It's the cheapest option out there, and it's a small startup. Okay. And like I said, it's the cheapest one, and that's why I recommend it for people getting started. Okay.
And I guess it then gives you an idea, doesn't it, at least of what sort of thing people are searching for. I mean, I always take the numbers on these tools with a little pinch of salt. In terms of how accurate they are, but it gives you an idea of trends and possible volumes around certain things, and it helps you identify products that you might not have thought of, I guess.
Yes, and that's the amazing thing. I mean, you could start at sort of a high level, and I usually try not to give examples where it may actually be someone's niche site, so I'll just use I look around my desk often, post it. I picked one that matched my shirt, which was not.
Yeah, that's good. I can't see it when you hold it there.
How about pink?
Yeah,
right. Have some contrast here. So basically, you could put in something like Post-it notes, and then you would see all these search terms that people search in Google every day, over and over again, for Post-it note type products. And what you may find is, Post-it notes, maybe that's not the right exact word you should use.
That's too general. Yeah.
Maybe it should be best Post-it notes for brainstorming, something like that.
Okay.
At that point, it's very specific. It indicates someone is maybe interested in making a purchase around, Post-it notes. And then you can write, for the niche site concept, eventually, right, the overall goal is to give someone information about the product that they're interested in and then get them to click over to Amazon so you get the commission. So
yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So we've talked about niches and products. So once you've started, you've thought about a site and you've found some products and a niche. I say niche. You guys say niche. That you want to get into. What's the next step? I mean, what do you need to do next?
So at that point, you basically develop content around the keywords that you found. So basically, to get very specific, I usually tell people to launch their site with 10 pieces of content. Just 10.
Okay.
Now this is in big contrast to people that say launch your site with 50 or 100 or 200 pieces of content, because most people will quit before they ever publish that much content.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. I mean, this is a long grind. And again, from the project management background, I'm looking for quick wins. This is a, project management, sprint of work. You're publishing 10 pieces of content, trying to get a deliverable product as soon as possible. And if you get that out there, then you're more likely to, continue on, actually make some sales, and then repeat the process again.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So obviously when you say content, I'm guessing you're thinking articles, that sort of thing, which that you then link through to Amazon, or if you're running a WooZone site or a WordPress site, you'd maybe link through to products within your site. Either way is probably fine. But what if you're not naturally a writer? I mean, how would you? I mean, I don't know if you've got a writing background, but I know it's a skill that we can all learn. But is there any kind of tips or tricks or ideas that you can, help people get started writing content? Because that's a hard thing for people that maybe haven't written stuff before.
Yeah, that's super hard. Actually, I have an engineering background, and I'm not a very good writer. I've gotten better, but I can appreciate the fact that it's hard to write. So 2 main tips. One is around the ability to hire a writer. There are qualified writers, and you can go to a place like Upwork. That's my, I guess, choice of freelancing sites. I go to Upwork and I hire a writer, and basically I provide them, this is point number 2, but you can give this a template to the writer, or you could use the template yourself. So if you're using a template to create your post, then it's more of a, Mad Lib style, fill in the blank, and you'll get better. The hard part is if you show up, this is what I used to do. I hit new post in WordPress and then try to start writing, and the blank screen is not good.
And you just get stuck. Yeah.
But if you can, if you have the outline, basically the template is an outline, and then you could plug in any product you want. And I have a couple templates. We could link it up in the description.
Okay. And that'd be great.
Yeah. And basically at that point, it's just a fill in the blank. You'll develop it over time and make it your own, but it's a great place to start.
Okay. And you'd give your writer, you'd say, I'm looking to promote these products, or I've got this keyword that I'm looking to get some traffic from. And how much information would you give them?
Sure. I usually would give them the title of the post. And then I have, again, it's all templates and systems and processes. So I have a template for when I hire a writer, and it guides them by telling them about, the name of the post, sort of the tone of the article, which is usually blog oriented, conversational. Yeah. And then it talks about a style guideline. So I get something with, H2, H3 tags, subheadings, bulleted list, tables, stuff that, Google likes and that readers like to read.
Okay. And it makes it just more interesting, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, most people, they're skimming. We skim the internet. We don't read everything.
No, we haven't got time.
Those things really help. So, at that point, I mean, the more information you can give a freelancer, the better their work is going to be. They'll know the expectations. and they'll deliver something a lot better. They know you're serious. If you don't give them instructions, you're going to probably get something back that you don't want, and everyone's frustrated. So
it's being clear on what you want, and hopefully they'll deliver. So let's just talk about writers just for a bit more. So you mentioned Upwork. So when you're on Upwork and you typed in, content writer, what's a good way to kind of work out who you need to approach, who's good, who's not so good? Is there anything you use, systems you use there? I mean, I'm guessing you've got a writer now that you work with on a regular basis, or are you always getting new writers?
Always getting new writers. So one of my approaches is to hire people that are just getting started on Upwork. So they want to get good reviews. And they'll usually work for a little bit cheaper, just in general. So to give you a frame of reference, I usually pay about $15 or so for 1,000 words, give or take.
Okay. That's the kind of length you're looking for in your articles, I guess?
Most of the time. For more competitive terms, I may do longer content, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 words, like very long. But in general, 1,000 words is sort of the sweet spot that I aim for.
So a 400, 500 word article is probably not going to cut it?
Not usually. I think if it's a very narrow topic where there's not much to say, perhaps. But most of the time, 1,000 words is like the minimum that I go for.
Okay. So sorry, carry on. So you go onto Upwork and you find someone who's new out?
Yeah. So if they're new, they want reviews, and they'll work for a little bit cheaper, so you can get, say, like higher quality writer for a little bit less, about $15 for 1,000 words. Then the template and then the tight description is a very good thing to just, if you're ever going to hire a freelancer, whether they're a writer or not, it's really good to be clear. I'm sure you've worked with developers that, if you don't give them very specific instructions, who knows what you're going to get back.
Yeah.
So then let's see. So I'm talking myself in a circle. So we're talking about writers.
Yeah. So you go the writer. Yeah. You look at their work. I mean, so they probably haven't got much work to judge, but as long as you're very clear and very specific about what you want, you should be fine. Yeah.
And then I guess like the big extra thing is I'm usually looking for native English speakers.
Yeah.
So whatever language is native for your site, right? So I'm not saying it has to be English, but whatever you need. I try and get native speakers, and I ask them 2 questions. One, are they interested in the topic? So let's say it's Post-it notes. Do you have like an inherent interest in Post-it notes? Tell me about it a little bit. My goal is for them to say yes, and here's why I like Post-it notes. I've been using them since I
use them all the time. Yeah.
Whatever. But the thing is, like, if they just give a 1-word answer, probably not very good, right? And then the other thing is I ask straight up and I say, do you speak American English, in quotes, just to make sure, because I know, I think niche is right, by the way, Alex, but I say niche, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
But other countries, even if they speak English, I know Canadians, good people from the UK like yourself, you put a U in sometimes for like favorite. So
that's how you spell it.
Yeah. It's been an age-long debate, but I just asked.
The Americans, they put Z's in, or Z's in everything where there should be an S. But no, that you're right. There is a lot of difference between the 2 languages. Even though they're both English.
Right, and you know what? I'll hire someone if they're like, oh, you know what? I'm from the UK. Of course, I'll hire them, and they'll say, yeah, I know we spell things differently, so I'll use your dictionary to make sure that you get it back how you want. So but just that little thing, it weeds out a lot of people because they have to go and answer, and you can tell immediately because it's not a canned answer. A lot of times you'll get sort of canned cover letters, and I force them to answer my own question. So so I guess you rarely use writers maybe from the Far East or the Philippines or India or anywhere like that. I mean, because those guys' English isn't generally their first language. I mean, they can speak English obviously, but because there are a lot of outsourcing services and guys that are in those areas. But you're saying that's probably not you're not going to get the quality that you want from those guys. Correct. I think it can be done, but I think it's just easier for me to not do it. So.
Okay, that's good. So, okay, so once you've got this article and maybe you publish it onto your WordPress site, what do you do with it next? I mean, how do you start getting it out there and getting some traffic to it?
Cool. So this is the promotion and link building and outreach portion. And basically, I try to keep it simple. So back to the project management and doing things that are effective and just ignoring everything else. I do blog commenting on niche relevant sites and then guest posting. And we can go deeper into it. And I know, first off, people will say, blog comments are not very effective. They're no follow links. They don't pass Google link juice. True. All that's true. There's a little bit of a benefit, I believe, just from like more referring domains going to your site. I think that's true.
I think Google still counts them somehow. I think definitely. But it's okay. And how do you we'll just drill on that a little bit.
Sure.
So you go over to a blog and you find an article about post-it notes or whatever. Obviously, you don't want to dive in and be the spammy comment that says, hey, come and check out my article on this, whatever. I mean, I guess you need to be a little bit more intelligent about how you do that.
Yes. So, and just to take a small step back, the overall goal is to get a guest post link. So when you step back and you're thinking, well, we really want to be friends with them. We want to network. We want to have that person remember who I am and interact with them a little bit. So when you think about it that way, then I know we have some time. We have a few weeks to, get to know each other. And basically I would just go to the blog and actually maybe I would try to find people that aren't direct competitors. And, so we're talking post-it notes. I maybe would look for sites that talk about pens because people that write, they need something to write on.
Right on, yeah.
And if I went to other paper product people, it may be my competitor. So I'd probably go to a pen site and say, really enjoyed the article on the Pilot G2 pen. I use, fine point, whatever, 0.5.
Okay.
And then, just continue it on from there. And maybe you comment on 2 or 3 of their posts. Maybe you send them an email just offline and say, hey, I really enjoyed some of the work you're doing. Just wanted to let you know. Maybe ask a question. But again, you're networking more than you're trying to get a link back.
Yeah, you want to try and get a relationship going, yeah.
Yes. Then, after you have that relationship, you can, one of the approaches that I like is to shoot them an email. Hey, I was about to publish this post, but I thought maybe it would fit good on your blog. If you want to take a look at it, maybe we can make it a guest post, no pressure. Let me know what you think. Short, to the point, no pressure. And then, one, they may take it. If it's good content, I mean, everyone
wants good content,
yeah. And it's free. Like level 2 would be, say, to tell them that they could put their affiliate link in that specific post. Like, hey, I'm mentioning some products. Like, it'd be a great post for you to put your affiliate link in. And, through all that, our goal is to get a link back to our Post-it page. So we're able to, basically get the link back to our affiliate content. That's
yeah. And what kind of success rate do you get in that? I mean, how many relationships and how many articles are we going to need to send out before we get some traction?
So the conversion rate varies a lot. Like when I've done this like high touch, multiple touch points over a few weeks, it's in like the 30 to 40% range, which is like crazy high because I used to send out like hundreds of emails and it was like 4%, 5%.
You're just kind of hitting people cold and just trying to get it going straight off the bat. Yeah.
So that doesn't work as well now. There's a lot more people just sending out these emails over and over. You probably get some yourself. Yeah,
and we've all tried it. And I think people they get a lot of stuff in their inbox as it is. And, they're not going to spend any time on that. Yeah. More kind of slowly kind of approach. It's pretty good. That's really good information.
Then,
so any other? So then, what do you do once? Yeah, you've got some blog comments. What else were you gonna get out there?
So I would say like get about 10 to 15 like guest post links. So if you're paying attention, I said publish about 10 pieces of content on your site, and then try and do some outreach and link building. So I'm telling you to even get like more links to your site than you have posts on your site. So like, I mean, this is an important part, of course, and like most people stop too soon. They say, I got 2 or 3 links, when should I rank? This stuff takes time. I mean, it's really amazing when you have the site set up. It's kind of passive. I mean, it just takes a couple hours of maintenance per month. But it takes a little while to set up. It takes a little while to get the links. So, spend the time getting those backlinks, and it may take a little while for the link juice and the rankings to move up. But once they do, they tend to stay there because everyone else, they're fighting the same battle as you. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that's the key. And I try and put this across in my other videos is that, you're trying to move away from selling your time, and you're going to be building something, a money machine or whatever, as it were, that you need to invest your time into now, and maybe a little bit of money, and it's going to pay off in the future and free up your time. I think a lot of people are trying to get their head around that now and understand that, there's a difference there, and you're not selling your time for money, and you're going to invest your time to build something that's going to pay off in the future, and you've got to keep going until you get to that point. So, okay. And so you've got these guest posts. What about social media and things like that?
I usually don't worry about social media, so it can work, right? Some niches are really big on Pinterest or Facebook, or fill in the blank. They're really big. Me personally, I don't love social media. I'm really bad at it. I kind of hate Facebook, so it's just not my thing. I'm better at SEO, and for my amount of effort and the time that I spend, it's more like you set up the SEO, you get the guest post, that's there for a long time. When you look at Pinterest, you got to keep pinning, you got to keep doing
Facebook, you got to keep posting, you got to keep tweeting, whatever. Tough.
So you can make it work, but I would only go for one channel at a time, one platform at a time, and really own it. And hopefully it's the one, if you love Pinterest, go hard on Pinterest, own Pinterest in your niche. And then once you have that solid, perhaps you add, SEO if you want to, or perhaps you go to Facebook and, grow there. But I think you have to focus on one. The thing I focus on is the SEO side.
Yeah. So, we've darting around a little bit. So, you've done your guest posts, and then you've all your other basic SEO stuff. You've marked up all your content using, Yoast SEO on WordPress or whatever, and made sure you got your header tags and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So then you'd expect Google to start ranking your site, and that would be your main source of traffic on your sites?
Yes. So the time frame has shifted to just be longer. So there's a so-called Google sandbox period, which is roughly 6 months or so.
Okay, that long? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, when I first got started, it was 2 to 3 months. I mean, you could get a site to number 1 pretty fast. Did you have sites back then?
Yeah, and I know you can. You could. So this is new sites that maybe they're on a new domain, fresh hosting, fresh site. It's going to take a little while for Google just to figure out what your site's about, and just to make sure that it's happy with you coming up in the results.
Right. Yes. And you will start ranking on page 4 or farther. But as you know, if you're not in the top 5, you're really not getting significant.
You're not going to get a lot.
So it does take time. Now there's I call it the keyword golden ratio. It's sort of it's a method to find keywords that most people are not competing for. So it's kind of a supply.
Yeah, less competitive. It should be quicker. Should be easier.
Yes. In fact, most of the time, if you publish, I call them KGR, so keyword golden ratio, KGR terms. If you publish a post on a KGR term, it usually ranks in the top 50 within a few hours. As soon as it's indexed, it usually ranks.
Because there's not many other relevant results for that particular term, yeah?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And we can go into it. It's more, there's a formula.
Maybe for another day, yeah.
It's okay, all data driven, so.
Okay, so you get your keyword research, and then you've got a formula that you run it through, and you're able to kind of identify the terms that are the golden, on the golden ratio, as it were.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's really interesting. So, and when you are ranking, I guess you're getting traffic from quite a lot of different keywords, quite a long tail keywords. Is that what we're talking about? People that are typing in quite specific searches with quite a few words in them.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So there will be several different terms. They're often, long, but it may be, like I mentioned, best Post-it notes for brainstorming. Maybe it's best Post-it notes for middle school kids or something.
For studying certain things or whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then it's like it serves a specific purpose for like a specific visitor that's trying to get that information.
And they're probably more likely to purchase something. Okay, so just touching on, I mentioned registering a domain and anything like that. When you're setting up a new site, do you register a new domain, or do you go looking for an aged existing domain that may be for sale or something like that?
Sure. I typically go for a new domain just because it's, it's clean. It's a brand new domain.
Yeah,
and
you know the history. Yeah.
Start fresh. However, if I had the opportunity and, wanted to spend the time on it, I would probably buy either an existing blog or, a site that maybe is at an auction. And, I don't want it necessarily an expired domain, but if I bought a blog that was like in place and then
that maybe someone hadn't done much on for a little while, needs freshening up. And okay, well that does bring us on to I'm going to wrap this up very soon because I know we've been talking for a little while, and maybe we'll do this again. And but I know people aren't going to sit and watch a video that's an hour long. Well, they maybe you're listening to it in the car or something on your stereo. But you mentioned before that you've sold sites and maybe you bought sites in the past. Have you got any advice, or I know because a lot of people may not be thinking of an end plan. They might be thinking, I just want to have an Amazon affiliate site and I want to just have that monthly income, which is obviously very nice. But obviously once they are earning a few £100 or a few $100 or even a few $1,000 a month, they're worth some money, aren't they? And so tell me your story about selling sites.
Sure. So just to, maybe this will be the headline. I sold a site for $235,000. So
okay. Wow.
So it's a lot of money, and
that is tell us a story. Yeah,
you can get roughly between like you take the monthly earnings and then you multiply it by a certain factor. Usually it's between like 20 to say 35 or so
times.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So this particular site was in that 10,000 per month range.
Wow.
And we were able to, partner and myself were able to sell the site on Empire Flippers as a marketplace. And it was just a simple Amazon affiliate site. There were about 45 pages when I started, basically planning on selling it. And then we added another like 50 or 60 posts on there to sort of beef it out and make it more of a, I guess, asset.
Yeah.
And I mean, like just from the monthly cash flow perspective, it was $10K a month, but we wanted to sell it. So we, listed it, and they're worth quite a lot. I mean, that's
so it went to auction and people were bidding on it. And
well, the Empire Flippers marketplace, they actually, it's a broker. So they vet the site, they do a background check on everything, and they work with us and they work with the potential buyers. So there was a listing price, and then there were some offers that came in and we worked through the offers until we got the one that we wanted.
So it's a little bit different to Flipper, which is a site I am familiar with, where it's more of like an eBay for websites and people just list them and people bid and that sort of kind of thing.
Yeah.
But maybe when you get to that kind of value, then Empire Flippers is maybe a better way to go. So why did you decide to sell? I mean, 10,000 a month coming in must be quite nice.
It was good. There's a portion of, let me think of the right way to answer this. Basically, we just wanted to sell a site that was that big. So we have other sites that we have going, and man, wouldn't it be interesting to try and sell a site that was making that much? So that's what we did. There were other like pieces of the project that we worked on. Without going into too many details, this was a site that had gray hat backlinks from private blog networks. And I moved it all to white hat guest posts. So I did like a huge campaign, and that actually boosted the value of the site just by moving it from gray hat to white hat.
Yeah. So is PBN something you used to work in, or do you still use them, or?
I don't use them anymore just because of the, ups and downs and the risk.
Yeah.
They still work great though. I know a lot of people that use them, but personally I can't deal with the stress.
They're not going to work forever, are they? Probably
not.
I don't know.
I mean,
It's like, yeah, as you said earlier, you know, that you don't want to wake up one morning and find your site's been delisted and your money's stopped.
It hurts.
And all that hard work's gone to waste. Yeah. So they may carry on working for the next 10 years, but Google don't like them, and Google are probably eventually going to work out how to figure out how to stop sites using them.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. One final thing, I've just thought of this question, and I do want to include it because I get a lot of questions on this all the time. And that is dealing with Amazon and getting your site approved and having problems getting approved, or maybe having it rejected after, you know, you've spent some time working on it, and then for whatever reason, Amazon come along and they say, we don't like your site, and they send you some generic reason, and then
Sure.
they turn off your affiliate account. Have you got any experience in that, and any tips, advice on that?
So luckily I don't have firsthand experience, but I hear from a lot of readers and viewers. One of the most common issues right now is around images. So we used to download the images from Amazon, resize them, and upload them to our WordPress site. That's actually against the terms of service. So you should only use images that are pulled using the Amazon API. So I typically...
Just a note on that, if you're running a site with WooZone, it does do that as long as you keep remote images switched on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So as long as you have that, that's like one of the number one. Another thing is, you know, listing prices. You're not supposed to list prices because they could change, and people would have the user would have a bad customer experience if they went to Amazon expecting to see $99 and it was $199. So that's no good. There are many other issues, and I'll just mention one more to give us three. And that is to basically have like all affiliate content. So let's say you launch 10 pieces of content and you launch all like Amazon product reviews. Like that's not good. Amazon knows that's just an affiliate site. Someone literally manually reviews it, and they want some site that has like some content behind it. So I recommend at least 50% informational content and the other 50% affiliate.
I think that's the key thing. You need to really be adding value above and beyond what Amazon actually offers. So you need to take something that Amazon don't offer. So they've already got reviews and they've already got those kind of things on there. So you need to take it to the next level and offer something that Amazon don't already have. And as you say, just don't look too affiliate-y. I mean, a lot of people, they just download some products from Amazon and a couple of articles and go for it. And and then when you start sending a bit of traffic over to Amazon, they will come, as you say, and come and have a look. And although it's not the end of the world if you do get rejected, because you can go back to the drawing board, rebuild your site or rewrite some content or add some more content and then apply again, and they'll give you another chance.
That's right. Okay,
well, should we wrap it up? I think there's been a ton of great information in there already. I mean, I've learned a few things, and I'm sure everyone watching is we've covered so much, and thanks very much for agreeing to speak to me. I mean, is there anything you want to say at the end? I mean, I'm sure you've got something you would like to promote or mention or whatever. And
you know what? I'll say people can go to nichesiteproject/WP Eagle, and I'll give all the templates that I described. So I was kind of high level in an interview like this, but literally all the templates I use for like Upwork, the actual like listing and everything like that, just like a task list for what you have to do to create a site. Plus I have this like pack of like 15,000 keywords from like actual Amazon affiliate sites that are profitable. So it gives you a place to start. I mean, if you tried to use them, it'd probably be really competitive, but it gives you a really nice spot to start from.
Give you some inspiration. Okay, we'll put that link in the description and you'll find it down there, and I'll put a card up or whatever if I can. Sweet. Okay, let's end this now, and we'll just have a chat in a minute. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Did you like that? I hope you did. I thought it went really well, and I thought some of the tips and some of the stories that Doug was telling me were just, really useful. And I thought, some of you guys are going to be able to take what he says and apply it to your Amazon affiliate website and, take it to the next level, which I hope you do. I'd love to hear what you thought and whether you are going to go on and follow some of his tips and whether you learned anything and all that kind of stuff. Just please leave a comment below. Doug has offered to share with me his keyword list and share with you guys his keyword lists. So make sure you go and get them. Check the link in description. I think you just have to pop your email address in and he'll send them straight over. And also do check out his YouTube channel. But that brings us to the end of this video, and I'm just going to add a little apology that I have been a bit slow on the uploading. I think I put a thing up on my Facebook the other week. I've got a lot going on. I'm struggling to get the recordings done. So I hope this video made up for it anyway, and I will try to get the schedule up and running again as soon as I possibly can. But in the meantime, be sure to subscribe, by the way, so that you do know when I do eventually upload the next video. If you want to get a notification, click the little bell, and then you'll get an email or something like that. And here's another video anyway from the channel, if you haven't already seen it. I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, bye for now.